Welcome everyone. Thank you very much for joining me today on my latest podcast today. Welcome everyone. Doug is a new person here in the podcast anyway. Thank you very much for jumping on this week's podcast, mate. If you haven't checked out Doug's channel, go and head over there. The Dugout Football Channel, massive Liverpool fan, but I made up to get him on, and obviously the legend Mickey, legendary Connor, and legendary Dave. Nice one, lads, for coming on. Really, Mickey, we'll get straight into it. Mickey wants us to talk from the get-go, everyone. We'll be talking about the Madrid game and really the West Ham build-up, everyone. But it was the social media reaction after the Champions League game, mate, wasn't it?
Yeah, I just couldn't believe it. Okay, the boys turned up. They had an off day. The ref had an off day. And Atletico Madrid had a plan. And it went perfectly for him, yeah. Let's be honest, yeah. We didn't know what to do. I think we'll be ready for him in the next round. But to me, after the match and all day Wednesday, the amount of people that were blaming Klopp, the players, the meltdown. My God, we've lost 2 games this season. What is wrong with people? I just do not understand it. You do have these off days. Look at the Liverpool title winning sides of the 70s and 80s. They used to lose games. It happens. No one has the right to win every game. I think this run has made people greedy. And we just need a bit of realism. And I don't want to see any meltdowns on social media if we lose another game. Yeah.
No, absolutely spot on, mate. David, did anyone else see some mental posts? It was.
Yeah, I do a few mental posts. That's me. but no, I do. I as Mickey said, I actually think we're spoiled with this team, and we have been spoiled rotten. We're like kids in a candy store, Spoiled kids are allowed to win, they're allowed to fill up their basket with whatever they want, and if they don't get the chocolate bar that they don't like, they start giving out, even though their basket's full of sweets. But we've been literally so good that any little hiccup, any little delve from what we're used to, which is winning games, it's highlighted. It's highlighted everywhere, and that's what it was. We didn't play well, it has to be said. I mean, we'd 70% possession. We didn't. I don't think we had a shot on goal. Now I heard that stat from somewhere. We actually didn't have a shot on goal. The referee, of course, he signed a new contract with Atletico Madrid after the game. So, he
5-year deal.
He was a joke. It's a tough ground to go to, guys. I did a video, 2 or 3 videos before. I was predicting a 1-1, to be honest. I wasn't expecting us just to roll up outside there and win the game. I don't care what anybody says. Atletico are a well-run side. Your man Simeone, plus his tactics and the way he plays doesn't suit us at all. It's anti-football. It's similar to Napoli, the way they set up, and Napoli have a good record against us. So I knew it will be decided at Anfield. Anfield awaits, as my old mate Mo Salah said. He's copying me every week. So people are saying, I knew it. And as Mickey said, we're spoiled rotten. We're spoiled rotten, and we put it right. Obviously on Monday, we'll hammer West Ham.
Yeah, Doug and Connor really was proud of Doug, mate. What were your thoughts after the game? Really, a plan of action. Really, how would you go about?
Look, I totally agree with Mickey, and I totally agree with Dave. I've seen posts this week saying that should Klopp be sacked if we lose the second leg? Come on. The guy's literally won us the Champions League. He's won us the European Super Cup. He's won us the World Club Championship. He's about to win us our first title in 30 years. I saw fans getting on the back of Gini Wijnaldum, and I actually tweeted during the week that, can anyone remember his contribution against Barcelona, or do people actually forget that? And then people were having a go at, obviously, Trent having a bad game as well. Yeah, this is just ridiculous that, we're getting fans of our club just basically going and getting at the players. It's ridiculous. And like I was saying earlier, we've lost 2 games all year. And I agree with Dave. I knew that the game against Atletico Madrid was going to be a very hard game, and I actually said 1-1 in my preview as well, because I thought, I was thinking if we could get a draw, it's probably a better result than obviously a 1-0 defeat. I'm glad it's only 1-0, and as I said to you last night, Jack, that if Alvaro Morata finished his dinner, then I think we'd probably lose that 2-0. But in fact, it was Alvaro Morata and not Diego Costa. I was very relieved.
Yeah. I think in terms of some people shouldn't be allowed social media. I don't think we're classed them as fans anyway. Like in terms of it's
you know what? Sorry, like Jack. I put in a cheeky. I have to be sorry. Sorry, Connor. I know you're next, but I put in a cheeky tweet. Actually, you're saying a crazy tweet. I said Postman Pat would have been happier with his deliveries tonight, and I was regarding Trent into the box. Postman Pat put better deliveries in. His crossing was absolutely terrible, but it was more of a funny tweet. You know what I mean?
Hey, Dave.
Sorry, Trent. Sorry,
Dave. Hey, but everyone after this report Dave's Twitter account. Report that tweet. I was joking about that. But yeah, Connor. It was a mad game, wasn't it? I haven't had the chance to speak to you or Mickey after the game, mate. Wait, what in terms of a positive point of view, mate? What were you coming away from? If not many positives, really, but if you had to pick a positive or a negative, really, what would you take away from the first leg?
I think the big positive was it was only 1-0.
Yeah.
That's like what Doug said. It's like, well, if it was Diego Costa, we would have been 2-0 down. And, well, we can just be fortunate for that. But I think the big positive was everyone after the game. I think that, Robbo and, Klopp even saying, welcome to Anfield, this isn't over. And I think that, people forget about what happened against Barcelona. They do. Because, all right, Liverpool come back, won 4-0 and did, probably the greatest comeback in European history. But, that's just Liverpool. Liverpool never give up. And all right, we lost the game and we deserved to lose. Atletico got the goal and they deserved to win because that was their game plan: get the early goal and then, thingy out the game. But overall, Liverpool, Klopp will know what to do in the second leg. Like that's just thing that he knows definitely like what to do. And people on Twitter and Instagram and everything like that. Some of the claims, like saying like Jordan Henderson, get him out the club, and Gini Wijnaldum. It's like, have you watched football over the last 18 months? They've probably been our best players. They're not real fans. Yeah. And they like at the end. All right, Jordan Henderson now is out for a couple of weeks now, and now it opens the door for a few people now. So. With the second leg in mind, who starts that in that midfield, it'll be interesting to know. Naby Keita didn't play at all in that game, so I think that was probably the perfect game for him to try and get under Atletico and try and break the game down.
Yeah, definitely, mate. It's absolutely spot on there. That I think in terms of we said everyone should be banned on social media. I think it's like when you've been on a night out and you come onto your social media after a couple of pints, and everyone's
party time at Dave's.
This is my night out. I'm a married man. This is my night out.
In the famous words of Bill Shankly, if you can't support us when we win, lose or draw, don't support us at all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Totally agree.
Yeah, but everyone, let us know your thoughts off the back of the Atletico Madrid. If you have some funny comments that you've seen, obviously, after the aftermath, let us all know in the comment section below anyway, Reds. But it kind of was spot on. What we done last year, I think, if you asked any realist, all of us believed that we could come back, but even my dad, I was saying to my mates after the Champions League game, or before the game, I was like, can we keep Barca from stop scoring? That was the main thing. But when we kept on getting the goals, everyone's like, right, we got 1, got 2, and then we got 3, and then we got 4. And we're like, every time Barca were getting through last year, and everyone would take a big, deep breath in, really. But it's going to be an exciting game, that second leg, and obviously we'll do a pre-match show anyway with all of us, definitely before that game. Is it 3 weeks? 2.5 weeks now, yeah. And until the game anyway. But we'll go straight on to, in terms of the West Ham build-up, everyone. 2-0 winners, obviously at the Olympic Stadium, really. Connor, we'll start with you again, lad. In terms of, you've mentioned Naby Keita potentially getting a run out, mate. Could you see this as the most ideal, really, scenario? You've mentioned, a couple of lads have mentioned, obviously, Hendo being injured. Do you think now is the time for Naby Keita to really grab this Liverpool shirt and make it his own?
Yeah, I think, West Ham, you'd like to think that Liverpool would like to come out and, make a statement against West Ham. And I think, they have to make a statement realistically. They have to, not so much destroy them like 4 or 5, but they need to do it like, if you guys remember the Sheffield game where we were just like in control from start to finish. And, this game would be a perfect, start for Naby Keita's reemergence in the team, then you could say. And it's probably between him and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain who gets in that midfield spot with obviously Sadio Mane in the left wing spot and the normal front three. Naby for me would probably hedge it above Ox at the minute, but overall, I think Klopp will have an idea who he would like to maybe put in there. But I think you could fit in anyone. To be fair, you could even fit in Adam Lallana and see what works that way. Then you could say.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Mickey, any to add on to what Connor said, mate, in terms of team selection?
I've got a feeling that he's going to drop Gini, give him a rest. He's going to play Milner and Keita with Fabinho.
Maybe, yeah.
It's time Lallana got to run out. It's possibly his last few months at the club. He needs a few more appearances for the middle, because obviously we've won the title. Listen, we might as well say it, because if we don't win it now, we never will. So it's that thing. It's, to me, I think it's got Lallana and Milner written all over it. They're perfect for West Ham. West Ham have got a really tough midfield with Noble in there. So I'll go for Milner and Lallana.
Yeah, that'd be nice to see. Is everyone, obviously, Nathaniel Klein, everyone, in the comment section below as well, everyone, let us know. Do you reckon, Dave, do you reckon Nathaniel Klein will, if he's fully fit, do you reckon he'll potentially get 5 appearances to get a Premier League medal coming the end of the season?
No. I'd like to see it. I mean, how long has he been? He's been out since the last time he won the league.
Yeah.
So is Shaqiri.
Yeah. He shouldn't get his medals for that. No, but seriously, obviously, I'd like to see him. He's been so badly. He was brilliant. He was England's fullback. He was England's number 1 fullback at one stage. Remember?
Yeah.
He was brilliant for Liverpool. I'll always remember that game. I think it was about 3-4 years ago in against Spurs. He scored the goal. Remember? Away at Spurs, he was brilliant for us. But I think he'll go in the summer. But I'd like to see him get a medal, of course. Bring him on last 10, 15 in games. In the last few games, give him. I think it's only 5 games you need now.
I think it's 5.
Yeah, it's only 5. It used to be 9, I think, at one stage. Now it's only 5 to get a medal. But back to the West Ham game on Monday night. I think, Mickey, you're right there. I think Milner could get a shout and Naby in the middle. I really do, because the middle 3, and maybe he might just leave Fabinho there, because Gini needs a rest as well. And with Hendo being out, he might just mix it all up totally in the middle and have Fabinho, Milner, Naby. And I mean, Mane be fresh and ready to go, because he was taken off at half-time against Atletico, because he would have been sent off. And that's the reason he was taken off at half-time. So I think Milner and Naby's a good shout for the middle against West Ham. To be honest, we should be beaten. I'd love a lovely toasted West Ham sandwich on Monday night. Should be beating them 3-0.
Yeah, definitely, mate. In terms of, Doug, in terms of like they're probably going to do a pre-match show anyway with Hammers United. The lads over there, absolutely quality bunch of lads. I think they were very disappointed with the way in which he played. West Ham did play against Liverpool, but it's going to be another game where a team comes to Anfield and no one's been able to do it, mate. It's been absolutely phenomenal. Liverpool's home record, I think. I'm hoping we do get the longest beaten in England, really, in terms of... Is it 9 more games we need to... Is it?
Yeah, we're not far off now. What was it, 49, I think, is the record for Arsenal, is it?
Yeah, 49 is the record for Arsenal.
What we currently on home games, I'm sure we're close to the record for that. Consecutive home games.
April 2017 against Crystal Palace was the last time you're beaten at home.
Remember that game? Christian Benteke come back to their score.
Well, Sadio Mane, he's never seen us lose at home in the league.
Unbelievable.
I think the last time Alisson lost was for Roma at Anfield, I think.
Here's another quick Statman Doug there. Here's another quick trivia question we'll throw in. It's Friday night. The last time Liverpool won the league in 1990 was April 28 at Anfield. It beat QPR 2-1 to win the league. Vogue from Madonna was number 1 in the UK. Sorry, lads. I had to throw that in.
I wasn't even born.
There you go. Connor wasn't even born.
I was born the last time Everton won a trophy, put it that way. Since 1995, as we always look to remember.
On the button, yeah.
As you like to say. Doug, I'll ask you again, mate, in terms of, as I asked Connor and Mickey, we mentioned, I think, Naby and really Lallana. Can you see any changes, really, that you personally would like to see Jurgen bring in?
I totally agree with the lads saying I think Gini will be coming out. I think we might see... I think Lallana is a certainty to start in this game. The reason I say that, I think he is needing a couple of appearances to get a medal. I really hope he does, because he's on and off the pitch. He's an absolute role model on and off the pitch. And to be honest with you, I feel really sorry that he could be leaving this summer, because whenever he's played, he has been a top professional. And I think the thing is, I think it'll be Lallana and Keita with Fab. I think we'll see those three. And actually, that's quite an exciting midfield to play. But I'll tell you something, West Ham, I think since David Moyes came back in, I think if I remember rightly, I think they've had 1 win, and I think it lasts 12. I think so. West Ham are in just no form at all, and
the Moyes effect.
David Moyes is a football genius. Everyone remember that.
Remember, we owe him a lot. He's the man that started the downfall at Man U.
But yeah, I mean, I really fear for West Ham, if I'm being honest. I mean, they do not look like winning a game of football anytime soon, and I think there's a lot of problems at West Ham, especially boardroom level as well. There's been a lot of talk about boardroom level, obviously. The other thing I would want to say is that Moyes left Haller, Anderson, Fornals, Lanzini all on the bench against Manchester City. Now, I'm sorry, but if I'm a West Ham fan and I'm going to the game against City, you would expect all of them to be starting. For them not to even have a go against Manchester City, who, let's be honest, are not the best defensively. It would have probably baffled me if I was a West Ham fan that they didn't even have a go they had to have. So I would expect those 4 who were out of the team, like to play City, to actually be in the West Ham side to face us on Monday.
Yeah, definitely, mate. I think obviously West Ham doing the best impression of Everton, really, to give Manchester City 3 points, because they absolutely love that, don't they? I think we haven't spoke about Manchester City's ban, have we, everyone?
Who?
All of us. Manchester City's ban since last week's episode, everyone. I think it was on Valentine's Day. It broke, which was absolutely amazing stuff. You were all probably on with your ladies anyway. Me being single, I was playing on FIFA, and the news broke, and I was absolutely made up. I was laughing my head off.
Jack, it's worse being married than Valentine's Day. What are you talking about?
I was actually in the cinema watching Doolittle, and I actually got a notification from Sky Sports, and I was really tempted to actually just slyly look at it. But when I actually came out of the cinema, I saw that it was about Manchester City, and my mouth just dropped because I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. But this has been coming for ages.
2014 it's coming.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a report that apparently they've been money laundering in Qatar or somewhere like that. I mean, if you've got owners that want to do that, then I'm sorry, but that is just... And actually, this is where the authorities really need to stand up for themselves, because they really need to put down a law that if you basically do that, then you basically get punished. And I really hope that the Court for Arbitration of Sport upholds the ban, because if it doesn't, then it kind of shows that there are some corrupt people in the world of football.
Yeah, Mickey, what were your instant reactions off the back of that when it broke, mate?
Well, to be honest, I've been talking about this for 2 years.
Yeah.
And I kept saying, I'm in a Facebook group, City versus Liverpool, and I've been telling them, I says, eventually you're going to get done for this. Yeah. And I'll tell you their reaction first. Their reaction is, we're innocent until proven guilty. And my thing was, you've been proven guilty, that's why you got the ban.
Yeah.
And the thing is, then they said, oh, but the hacked emails, it's illegal to use it in a court case. I says, no, it's not. It's illegal to use it in a criminal court case, not in a civil one. So there's no way this is a criminal thing. The Court of Arbitration for Sport needs to uphold this, or FFP means nothing.
Yeah.
If Man City get this ban lifted, them and Paris Saint-Germain will go out and just buy every brilliant player.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they will clear the football field.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was put in to make it fair. But they're all jumping, going, what about Barcelona? What about Real Madrid? Look at their money, what they make every year. Yeah. Look at Manchester United's money they make every year. Stop talking about them. Now, they can't tell me they made money. Now, they put out, it was a sellout against West Ham. Every ticket got sold out. Did you see the ground?
Yeah.
People have not
empty seats.
Let me tell you, the owner is buying the rest of the tickets.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. And that's also against FFP.
Do you know what he said, Mickey? I seen a Twitter thing that said the ground was 3/4 full, and the other quarter are season ticket holders that just didn't want to turn up on the night. You know what I mean? What a lot of shit.
I heard another thing. I don't know if you heard that. It was all the West Ham, or whoever they're playing in the final. Who are they playing in the final?
Aston Villa.
Aston Villa, yeah. All the Villa fans get on this. McKindo's Illuminati confirmed. Aston Villa fans buying the City home games so they could get tickets for being inside the City stadium, obviously, because they don't sell out their final tickets, will they? I think you need to go to one City game. So all the Aston Villa fans bought the City tickets for the game the game just gone, so you could get a ticket for the final.
And didn't turn up for it, obviously.
Yeah.
I was at Wembley start of the season, and the Liverpool end, you could see all 3 tiers full. The Man City end, 2 tiers, top tier empty. And then they announced in the City end, 5,000 tickets were given to them by McDonald's, and none of them were City fans.
They got their tickets in a Happy Meal.
It was like, it was a joke. And then all you see on social media is, well, we have got lots of fans, but because we go to so many finals, we have to pick and choose.
No, they don't have
I don't believe it.
I mean,
it's a joke. It's an absolute joke. And the thing is, shout out to Aston Villa, who have managed to sell out their allocation for the Carabao Cup final. But that's levels, because Manchester City would never, ever do that.
Yeah. I think Aston Villa are a bigger club than City anyway. They've won more European Cups, haven't they? So
you just look at the history. Exactly. But you just look at the history and the way it was. What were they? League One, almost in League Two. Were they League Two? Manchester City. They were nearly knocked out the whole football league. I think in the last game they scored a goal in injury time, which kept them in the bloody league, in the football league. I mean, my father-in-law, as I told you before, has followed them since the 60s and 70s City. He was a scout for them in the 70s, head scout. He's a big City fan even now, and he's 79. So I know all about City. Don't you get me wrong. They were a good cup side in the 70s. Malcolm Allison and they had a good few players. What's your man's name? Summerby and Mike Summerby, all these guys. But they never had the history, the build up. Like say even Manchester United, you have to put your hands up and say have. Even Leeds United have a big following. Leeds United in the Championship were a big club. Aston Villa, Liverpool, Everton. I know they're a small club, but they have a big following. Do you know what I mean?
Newcastle.
I mean, Arsenal. I mean, you could say the same against Chelsea and Spurs, but you can't just buy fans. You can't just buy history.
No,
it takes time. You know, you can pump all your billions. It'd be like me being a billionaire and going, right, I'll pick a team. I'll pick, let's say, Burnley. Burnley, probably more history than City. And pump billions into them and say 10 years' time they're winning European Cups. But are they as big as Liverpool? Are they as big as United? No. So that's more or less what happened to City. You know what I mean? I don't blame their fans for it. Yeah. I mean, if you're a City fan and you see these guys coming along, buying, you know, the best players in the world, more or less buying the leagues in a way, you know, buying, and you haven't won the European Cup, and I don't think they're going to do it this year, probably the next 3 years. But FFP, back to the FFP again, I think, unfortunately, I think City will win it. I'll tell you 2 reasons why. One, they've more money. And money talks in this modern world. It's sad, but that's the way it is. They've more money even than UEFA, to be honest. They're zillionaires. But the thing is, it's on appeal anyway, but it could get halved into a 1-year ban, which is the only other possibility. But I'm telling you now, they will not serve 2 years. Can't see it. Can't see
it. You missed something out there, Dave. They've got more lawyers than fans.
Yeah. When they've plenty of lawyers. I don't know about lawyers, but the solicitors maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, kind of like in terms of obviously at the back of that, I think we've spoken about FSG a couple of times on our podcast, mate, already. This is huge credit. This highlights really the work in which FSG are really doing. I think Mickey talked about in week 1 podcast about FSG, the how well they're running Liverpool Football Club in terms of obviously financial fair play regulations. We're doing it the right way. We're not overspending on players, but players in terms of Michael Edwards as well, his recruitment's out, and as well as players coming in, it's so remarkable how well he's playing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like, well, if you want to look at a football club that is doing it the right way, it's Liverpool at the moment. But going back to the Man City stuff, if you think about it already, UEFA have been embarrassed once already this season concerning Manchester City. If you guys remember Chelsea's transfer ban, that was for 2 transfer bans, and you know, I think Manchester City had like the same thing where they did the exact same thing. But Chelsea got the transfer ban, and City only got, I think it was like a £200,000 fine, and it's like, and now Chelsea had
£60,000 fine.
Was it 60? Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is nothing.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, it's like what Dave said. They've got more lawyers than fans, like what Doug said as well. It's unbelievable. And going back to FSG, they've done it the correct way, and they knew at the start, you know, Liverpool can be big again through just the fans and everything like that, and that's how a club should run. But you know, we've talked about, like, you know, Jadon Sancho and Timo Werner and everything like that. Liverpool won't go and spend £160 million, or, you know, like a PSG, go and spend over 220 million on a Neymar. They will pick the correct player for the correct price. And if it's not good for the club, then they won't do it. It's as simple as that. And it's the club, you know, obviously through the noughties and everything like that, Liverpool almost went into administration and everything like that. But, you know, we know how close we were to being down and out. And, you know, it's not, and going back to the Manchester City stuff, it's not the players' fault, it's not Pep Guardiola's fault, it's the owner's fault. And, you know, if this was Liverpool, I think we would all be saying the same thing. You know, it's not the players' fault, it's not Klopp's fault, it's the owners. And, well, if they are guilty, then, you know, they should be charged correctly. But FSG, so far, what they've done has been superb. Obviously, the you know, the Anfield expansion and the new training ground and everything like that. And you think about it, they're going to be building, you know, obviously on the Kenny Dalglish staff as well. it's only a good thing for Liverpool, and that's it's the only. Liverpool are on the way up, and the way Manchester City are going, you wouldn't say they're going down because obviously they have billions upon billions, but it doesn't bode well for them if this is back since 2014. And, obviously if they do have that 2-year ban, they're going to lose the players like De Bruyne. They're going to lose, they won't lose Sterling because Sterling has said he'd stay, but who knows? And other players will leave. So it's not just going to affect them in terms of money and everything like that. It'll affect them in terms of winning championships and Champions Leagues, which they'll never do anyway. But, it's just things like that. And I think, Liverpool are just so above them and everything else at the minute that, it is only a good thing at the minute.
Yeah, absolutely spot on there, mate. It's yet again, as Connor and Orvies have mentioned, it's really the fans. If you take a bigger picture in terms of this could have been anyone's football club really in terms of getting bought out and really getting investment, but I think it makes a mockery of the rules that are in place. FFP supposedly it's not being put into place. Well, it is in place, but there's clubs out there really, and if you're like a team in the 4th division, we've seen Betty being get put into administration and very much dissolved. And there's been Bolton as well. What a great football club, and their fans have been put through the absolute courts and really struggling down there. It's sad because people are buying these football clubs and really disrespecting the fans as well. Disrespecting the fans in terms of the rules in which they're breaking. But something has to really change. I think hopefully this is the start really in relation to the times changing. I'd be saying this even if
Jackie,
it was Liverpool.
Jack, sorry, I have to go. Something's after popping up. I have to leave. Okay, guys.
Oh, sorry, mate. Nice one for coming on there.
Connor,
See you, Dave.
Doug,
See you, Dave. Cheers.
Jack, I'll talk to you, Mickey. Talk to you soon, guys. Cheers.
See you later.
See you later.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
But yes, nice one, Dave. Thank you very much for taking time out.
On that, Jack, can I just point something out? In rugby league and rugby union, there is stringent rules on how much you can spend and what you do. And if you break them rules, you get relegated. You have to sell your team. You have to do this. Why in football is it the rules are there? They know what the consequences are, but the Court of Arbitration for Sport always deals in line with the club. But when it comes to rugby, they always deal in line with the rugby unions. And to me, it smacks money to me.
Yeah.
It smacks money. The rules are there. I don't understand how the Court of Arbitration Sport have cancelled these bans for these football clubs. But for the rugby clubs, if you look at what's happening to a couple of rugby league teams and a couple of rugby union teams, they've had to keep to the rules. I don't get it. It's about time now. There's too much corruption in UEFA, FIFA. It needs to stop.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Definitely echo those words. Absolutely spot on there, mate. It's horrible, Doug, innit? In terms of it's mad. I think something has to change, and I think even the FA have to take full account, really, in terms of, obviously, as Mickey said, then obviously rugby's ran well. Obviously, you see a couple of great rugby clubs anyway, but I think the structure of the English football, we've seen how much money is getting pumped in to the Premier League. But in terms of grassroots, you could look at it in terms of that. You need a full-scale evaluation of the English football, every single pyramid, really, because obviously the clubs, everyone's talked for years, will there be a Super League? You probably could say that. At the end of the day, like in the next 20, 30 years, you could be sadly looking in that, because obviously football club, it's great to have all these transfers and really big name players, but there needs to be at least some evaluation from the FA and accountability, really, doesn't there, mate?
Yeah, I mean, look at what Barcelona managed to do. Like they've managed to get a lot. They've had a lot of injuries, and they've managed to agree this sort of rule that you can actually sign a striker if you've got like so many injuries. And the one striker who I thought who would never ever join Barcelona would be Martin Braithwaite. I mean, that has to be the most bizarre move ever. for Barcelona. I mean, and the worst thing about it is, Leganes, who are fighting relegation, are not even allowed to replace him. So, it's one rule for Barcelona, it's a one rule for another club. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, it's absolutely mad. That Connor, in relation to that, like, who did Braithwaite used to play for? It was
Middlesbrough.
Yeah, I was going to say Middlesbrough. I've heard that name.
And it was shocking.
Yeah. Connor, what are your thoughts on obviously that? Could you see a bit? I'm fully surprised something like that hasn't happened in the Premier League.
Well, it couldn't happen, could it? Really, it's just the Liga making its own rules for for their best team, and then making a rule for another. Imagine, say now Salah got injured for us, and we said to Norwich, "Oh yeah, we'll have one of your players." Like
Timo Pukki.
Yeah, exactly. It's not fair, and well, if they was to do that in the Premier League, then it would be absolute uproar. But Barcelona, they just make up their own rules, don't they? Really, like they think they can beat us 3-0 and then go through to a Champions League semi-final, and then we all know what happened there. But it's concerning, the FA and with this Manchester City thing and that. You look at teams like Bolton and Bury, and Bury now, they've gone, and teams like that, like they shouldn't. There shouldn't be that in football these days. There should be a system in place. Well, this is what FFP was to be, so teams could, stay in the Football League and everything like that. And it quite clearly hasn't worked. And, for all the millions that, Manchester United and Manchester City got, because I think Bury's only like, about, 20-minute drive from
there, close.
Like and, those big, massive teams, they should be giving something to those types of teams. Like you look at Liverpool, we use Tranmere quite a lot. The women's team play there, even though I know the ground's been a bit awful lately. And, we go there in like pre-season and everything like that. So, us and Tranmere, we have a good working relationship. And, teams, they should do that. There's loads of teams in London, obviously. There's, the most Premier League teams are in London and everything like that. So, I think teams should come together to work with one another with lower leagues, because you never know, Liverpool could end up being down in League Two someday. It would never happen, but something like that, and something does need to be taken in place. And in terms of punishment for Manchester City, obviously the Champions League, that's still to be confirmed. But if the Premier League don't do anything, then it's going to be really suspicious. And I think that they just need to sort a system out where it's more equal for everyone.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Mickey, I never say never with any club, really, do you? I think I never grew up with Leeds United being the force that they were, but Mickey, they were such a huge club. Obviously in the noughties as well, weren't they, mate? Obviously they were in the Champions League and everything, weren't they?
I remember him. Him in the late 70s.
Yeah.
So, at the end of the day, they were as big as Liverpool at that time. They were a good side. They're a bit like this current side. They could do everything. They could be dirty. They could fight. They could play football. They were good at everything. But at the end of the day, going down, Aston Villa found that out, doesn't mean you go straight back up. Newcastle have been lucky; they've bounced back. Some clubs get stuck there for a long time. Look at Forest; they've been stuck there a very long time. All right, it looks like they might be going up this season or within a chance. There's a lot of teams gone. There's a lot of big teams down there, bigger than some of the teams that are in the Premier League. At the end of the day, they're not playing the football, and it's the Championship. To me, is the toughest league to get out of. And going on that, this is what I mean. In rugby, everything's done so clubs can't go bust. Something needs to be brought into football as a whole, and the FA need to take account. Now I know the league is a separate entity, but a lot of the people on the board of the league are on the board of the FA.
Yeah.
So the FA need to take control. They run football in the UK. They need to look at all the money being pumped into the Premier League. It needs to be shortened down a bit, and a lot more needs to be pumped at the bottom.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, what we don't want is a league full of, like, Liverpool could have a team one day, with no English players in it at all. And we could have a league where every single team plays non-English players. Where does the England team get the players from? Now, I'm not a big fan of England. I'm not a big fan of international football, but I know it's important to some people. So you do need to bring through your own talent. And that's why I admire Liverpool a lot, because Liverpool rely on their academy. There are teams, even in the Premier League, shutting their academies as we speak.
It's mad, that, eh?
Yeah, because they can't afford it. It costs a lot of money now. So I'm glad Liverpool are sticking by the guns. They're moving the first team next to them to integrate them more. That's the future. That's the future of football. I think Liverpool will start this, and you will see every other big club do the same.
Yeah,
I really do. A lot of people are copying our transfer policy now. They're going to copy our U team policy. I'm 100% certain of that. This needs looking at completely. If you break rules, there should be no appeal. Yeah, you're found guilty. It's end of story. Done and dusted. You take the punishment. Yeah. The problem for City is with the FFP rules, without Champions League, they can't buy anybody. Yeah. That's 100 million off the books every year. That's why they're so desperate to get back into this thing, because they know if they're not going to. So next season, who are they going to buy? No one's going to want to come no Champions League.
Yeah,
they've not got the money to do it. They might even have to cost cut. But it's about time. Clubs need to. So if you remember, let me take you back. FSG took over. Everyone hated them because they were selling Reina. They were getting rid of all the big earners.
Yeah.
And they said to all the others, we renegotiate your contracts and you get paid less. Because the club was paying people too much.
Yeah.
Just like United are now. They got the sound base. They built it from that. They invested the money that they saved on the players into the rest of the club. And that just grew the club naturally, organic, outside, which then in turn brought more money into the first team. And now we're seeing the benefits of new contracts for players. The players have promised, if we play well and we're winning, you'll get more money. This is what you should do. You should never buy players that want £600,000 a week.
Yeah.
You want to buy players that will play for your club for 150 grand a week, but get the bonuses if they win.
Yeah.
That's what you want. And that's the difference between... That's why United are really struggling, because they're overpaying. And they're overpaying wages. Maguire is not in the same class as Van Dijk or even Gomez.
Well said.
Yeah. But his money that he's on more money than Van Dijk.
Yeah.
He's on... And Gomez, I think he's on 40 grand a week.
Yeah. I tell you, if he's on 40 grand, that's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he's on 40 grand a week. And I think Trent's not on much more.
Yeah.
Robbo's on 70.
Yeah.
You're talking probably the best back four and the best goalkeeper, and none of them are anywhere near the highest paid people in the world of football. That's what Klopp doesn't want. Players that want to come here for the money. Klopp wants players that want to come here and play for Liverpool, and that's what you want. Let's get back to that. Let's get back to that with all clubs. Let's make the league. That's how you make the league more competitive. Yeah. If you've got 20 teams with 20 players all want to win the league and play for that club, you get a better standard of football.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would you add a salary cap then to be one of the factors then, like what rugby union is doing, like what you said?
Well, to be honest, a salary cap might be. So if you go down to the Championship, your salary cap gets reduced, and it could work. It could work. The big clubs will not want to agree to it. I'm 100% certain to that, because Man United wouldn't, because they know the only attraction they are at the moment is the big dollars.
Yeah.
They're not offering them anything else. But let's wait and see. Let's see if this naturally, organically happens over the period of time. Because if this does not happen, what happened to Bury will happen to 20 clubs in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll lose a whole division. I'm proud of our football league. 92 teams in the football league. The non-league stuff is massive and growing.
Yeah.
It's bigger than it ever has been. I'm proud of that, but let's not lose what we've got because we're not pumping enough money into it. Now, Sky, I read an article the other day on the deal they've got to show the EFL things. apparently what the clubs get paid, it doesn't even cover their wage bills.
That's mad, that.
So there needs to be. I know Sky are not going to pay over the odds for it, but they've got to start sharing a bit of the Premier League money down.
Yeah, needs to be. I think obviously it's better. I don't even want to talk about the La Liga. Like their structure is absolutely broken. But I think that's probably, it won't be similar. But I think the Premier League is a lot more better. But it's still not up to probably the standards. Obviously, City, Liverpool. I think it does help the teams. Obviously, the more better you play, and obviously the more you get featured. I think that's probably been a huge pot of money, really, Mickey, in terms of obviously in terms of the revenue, anyway. But absolute legends. I think we're just hitting the 50 mark anyway. But I've absolutely loved tonight's show. Absolutely, boss. We should be. I expect by next week us to all get a phone call from the FA to come down and sort out their mess. Because I tell you, we us, every single one of our channels, we'll
Is
go
there a
down.
fan representation on the FA? I don't know this. I might have to look into it, because to me, the clubs have a representative that goes into them, not part of it, and then we've got one that. But I don't think there's anyone there that represents the fans. Now, you take fans away from football, and this is what they all need to forget. You take fans away from football, there is no money. There is nothing.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
It's destroying the game. Listen to the fans. Don't listen to what the chairman of Hull's saying. Just him. Listen to what the fans of Hull are saying.
Yeah. I think we'll all go down with fake money machines and just start firing them at them. You might, you might give us a job then, because you like the money, don't you, the FA? But yeah, nice one, Mickey. Nice one, Connor. Nice one, Doug. Go and head over to Doug's channel as well, along with Connor's. I'll leave them all in the link in the description. And Dave obviously was midway through. He had to get off, but he was absolute legend. Make sure you do head over to all the lads' channels as well. Dave LFC Chats, that was Dave's channel. But Mickey, nice one for coming on. Connor, Doug, absolute legends. This will be. I did try and start it with a video form anyway, but I think this will just be. We'll just start doing audio podcasts anyway. But nice one, lads, for taking your time out for your Friday night. Hopefully, you haven't taken up too much of your time. But I've absolutely fully enjoyed it, boys. But yeah,
can't wait till next week.
Yeah, nice one, lads. Yeah. So, Reds, make sure you do head over there, subscribe, and as always, absolute legends. You're absolute legends if you're still listening to the podcast 52 minutes in anyway. I tell you. But nice one, mates. Everyone, have a lovely rest of your night. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll be back with obviously a pre-match show for the Atletico Madrid game as well. And we'll see you for podcast 4 next week. As always, Eds, you'll never walk alone.